Well, Acha, well, thank you for taking time for today's interview. And I heard that you're in the journey of completing your 75 hours of transformative coaching with Coach Masters Academy.
Thanks for having me, Ben. Yeah. It's been a good journey so far.
Wow, great. So I'm here to find out from you, Coach Masters Academy had this proprietary coaching framework. They call it the transformative approach
Yeah,
within the awareness, clarity, and choice conversation.
yeah.
I'd like to find out from you, what do you think is so unique about this approach?
No, I, I think. Okay, just to quote someone I used to work with,
Uh-huh.
he used to say that I can explain it to you, but I can't understand it for you,
Wow, that's profound.
right? And the coaching framework kind of centers around one of the core concepts is awareness. And
Okay.
I might be a little different from the other people on this course because I use the coaching to you apply in my workspace, so
Okay.
more as a managerial kind of tool for me.
Mm.
And I think when people come to you with problems, because we're managing people every day, the biggest challenge we have is getting them to kind of understand for themselves
Precisely.
the issues that they're going through. And
Yeah.
when you break it down to a framework where you've got an actual process, then you can take them along that journey and let them arrive at a moment where they actually understand and they
Yes.
then can face the problem or answer the question themselves.
Yes, yes. And I agree with you because it's like in today's context where everything is moving so fast, deadlines and KPI and target, we are so engaged in doing
Mhm.
that sometimes we wonder where do we find time to think?
Sure. I mean, it's become quite kind of impersonal. Life is you're governed by your calendar and your personal assistant, and your alarms are going off on your phone, right?
Yeah.
So I met a guy yesterday who had a spreadsheet this size of his calendar for the day, printed out on paper, and it had all felt pens, and it's like, man, there's more to life.
Precisely. And I
Right?
think that the cycle just keep on, reinforcing one another when if manager keep telling staff what they need to do or give instruction or direct them how they need to do things, they increase their productivity, they increase what they need to do more. And if they keep on increasing the try-shot in this way, then they got lesser and lesser time to think.
Sure.
And they're just becoming a doing machine without really having the time to reflect.
Yeah, we're getting into a drone kind of zombie situation.
Yes,
And the humanity lies in understanding why you're doing what you're doing too.
precisely.
Right.
And I think that's where I felt that, that is where I think this particular way of coaching has a valid place in advancing human potential in the sense that it really it's beyond just getting awareness. It is about being aware of what are you thinking about your actions. What are you thinking about your thoughts process?
Yeah.
How is these actions in line with a bigger picture? You know what I
True.
mean? And
True.
it's through such alignment that people can make a better choice of decision.
Yeah. I mean, think about back in the day when you're doing an employee appraisal, you sit across each other and have a chat. Hey man, how's it going? What's your problems? What you did this good this year? Right? So
Yeah,
it was a very kind of personal interaction. Whereas in today's world, when you do an appraisal, people are reduced to numbers. It's like, KPI number 1, 4.6, KPI number 2, 4.7.
what can you do more next year?
Yeah. And then it's all about, okay, we expect 20% growth from you.
Wow.
So, I mean, the system will break if we keep moving in a way where we don't realize why we're doing what we're doing.
Precisely.
And that can only come from an actual human kind of interaction or empathy with the person you're talking to. Yeah.
Precisely. And I do agree that while it is important to emphasize growth and number, and what we are trying to say here is that it is not a complete picture. It's not a complete, it's incomplete. We need to have numbers, and yet at the same time, we need to also be able to create a platform for people to then reflect and think and understand and be able to gain a much more, having a clearer perspective of what gets them to where they are today. What about their thinking process?
Yeah.
What about the way they look at things? What about the way they're experiencing their reality? How are those factors, support them at where they are? As Jane, I can't feel always say, if you do not know where you are or what keeps you here, well, you can't know where you need to go next.
True. I mean, the basic anchor of a person's being is understanding why he's here,
Precisely.
right? And again, when it comes to using the appraisal kind of situation, is people need to know why they actually need to be
Precisely.
at another level, or at the level that they are, or if they're underperforming, what's the gap they need to fill.
Yes, agree. And I think one of the uniqueness about the Coach Masters framework is that, it underprints the importance of emotional intelligence. And
Sure.
not so much about the emotion part, but it's all about awareness, about what are you noticing, about the way you are thinking. How is it that aware about the way you're feeling? And I think that is a great truth here, where we are called human being and not human doing.
Yeah, sure. And this was the biggest kind of selling point for me when I joined CMA. Was the keyword was transformative.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Because in my experience, through training, you can teach people to do things
Precisely. Precisely.
but if you can make them think differently,
Precisely.
then you've solved half of the problem. I mean, you solved the whole problem.
Not even you solve half the problem, you actually set in place a momentum for them to evolve and adapt in the future if they can think.
True, because that's where the turning point, or the aha moment that I call it, is when you feel, I mean, transformative is a generalized term, but
Yes.
to have a transformation within you, it requires a huge kind of deep personal insight into
Yes.
your actual being as a person.
Precisely. I like the word you use, insight, as in it includes understanding.
Yes,
In
and reflection.
learning and reflections and connections and all sort of those reflective components that really makes us great as a human being.
True.
Wow, thank you for sharing such a deep insight about the whole science of transformative coaching here. And in closing, would you be able to share with me, how has this training impacted you as a person?
It's hard to kind of define, but I went for this coaching more of as a personal exercise for me.
I see.
So it wasn't with the intention of having a career. It was more about kind of evaluating whether my approach to life was kind of in parallel with what's out there. Because when you live in Cambodia too long, you kind of form your own perception of the world. So it is good to see how we stand on a more kind of international platform, because you guys do stuff all over the world, right? So in my approach to that, or with that kind of mindset, when I went for the training and the Coach Masters Academy, it allows me to kind of do my own kind of soul searching as to whether,
Right.
as a manager or as a leader of a team, I lead 87 people, whether I had what it took, or whether I was on par with what's out there. I mean, different management approaches, but it was more for me to find my own kind of transformation, and then take that learning and apply it to my day-to-day interactions with the staff that I have. Yeah, people that work with me. Yeah.
Wow, it sounds like this training has set you on your own reflective learning journey
Yes,
about how you show up as a leader.
sure. Like I said, the application should not be just confined to taking coaching as a career. And I do agree it's a great career, and I'll probably think of pursuing it maybe later on in life. But irrespective of whether you choose to be a professional coach or not, I think it's a great add-on to your learning process that allows you to do kind of multiple applications for it, both professionally, in your own job, and as a coach if you want to go down that road as a career.
Yes, well, thank you, Acha. I know time is running up,
No
and
worries.
thank you for sharing your great insights and your thoughts around your learning journey. And I wish you all the best as you learn to integrate this new way of connecting with people
Sure.
into your leadership pathway and allowed you to be a truly connected leader.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Acha.